So Hagar in the 9JR car. Who's right behind him? That's one of our 24 cars. We got a couple 24 cars out here with us, and I believe that is the 24W of Jeffrey West. Out of Toka, Tennessee, the Metal Builders, Velocita, number 24W. Told you about that one. There's who's down there in turn number 1 and 2. That's number 3, Howard Moore out of Memphis, Tennessee. High Performance Lubricants, Whitaker Glass, TJ Forged Wheels sponsors the number 3 car. Actually a former USCS and Southern Outlaw Sprint Rookie of the Year. As we cut them loose here on this hot lap session. Again, hand scoring taking place from up here in the tower. So no lap times for us to take a look at and attribute to these drivers out here, so we just kind of have to guess at who's fast. And right now, the number 3 car, Howard Moore, looks plenty fast, as does the 22S of Slater Helt. Bebopping his way around here at the ditch. Riverside International Speedway. Thank you so much for joining us on Flow Racing. You can check out the entire evening. Just $150 a year is the subscription price, and that's everything on Flow Sports. Not just racing, but wrestling, marching band, basketball, you name it. Flow bikes, the whole 9 yards. Everything on Flow Sports can be had for just $150 a year, plus all the on-demand. We got a great drag race taking place this weekend, as a matter of fact. Hail Mary, big old door slammer race taking place from in Maryland, my home state. You can tune in and watch that as well, and I highly recommend it. As checkered flag comes out on hot lap session number 1 for the USCS Sprint Cars. 360s in the house. 36 cars have checked in for Flip-Flop 50. And again, tonight is qualifying night. We'll run our qualifying heats. We'll lock the top 14 into tomorrow's feature event. We'll have a pole dash that takes place tonight for the top 8 cars, so a pole shuffle if you want to call it that. And then tomorrow we'll run the Flip-Flop 50, which is a feature event, followed by a complete inversion of the finish of the first feature and a second feature event. So we completely invert the field based on their finish, not their starting spot, their finish, and run them again.
Do not push off the 4-wheeler, 13. Do not push off the 4-wheeler.
So the 13 car not supposed to push off with the 4-wheeler. We've had issues in the past, and that's kind of an insurance thing. The number 13 car needs to be pushed off with the truck. 4-wheeler, we had one get hooked to the back bumper, and that thing fired off, and, well, you know how the rest of it went. So we don't do that anymore. That's a big no-no. Chase Howard's behind the wheel, the number 13 out in Nesbitt, Mississippi. 187 car rolling out onto the front stretch. That's Landon Crawley out of Benton, Arkansas. In a very cool-looking 187 car. Sterile is what I was going to go for, and then I thought better of it. But I'll throw it out there anyway. It looks like a very sterile wrap on that. Sean Rahal joining us out of Woodstock, Georgia. The number 14 R car on the backstretch is actually his first year in a sprint car. Now, Sean, if you don't know, was the, how do they say it, the shizzle? Do they still use that word? In legend cars. He won a ton of championships in legend cars and then went to the European Le Mans Series and picked up the Le Mans Championship. He ran sports cars, Indy Lights, all that kind of stuff. He said, well, I've never won in a sprint car. So he hopped behind the wheel of a sprint car this year in the 14R car, and he's giving that a shot. So keep your eye on him. It's a little bit of a hobby for him. He retired from road course racing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 97, a Mad Max Standball out of Elida, Ohio. Pushes off down into the corner. He'll be fun to watch. Former All-Star Circuit of Champions Rookie of the Year. Ran karts, mini sprints, but very well known up in the Ohio Valley. 67 car behind him, Hayden Martin out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is the same place that Ricky Stenhouse is from. Not sure if that's claim to fame for him or not. The one to watch, the Bartlett Bullet. That's Terry Gray, the number 10 car down in turn number 1 and 2. Fat Larry's Barbecue, Chatham Speedway, Griffith Truck and Equipment, all sponsors the number 10 car, the Bartlett Tennessee Racer. He is looking for his 13th USCS championship this year. So he's got 12, but I think 18 to his name for the driver behind the wheel of the number 10 car. So he is one to watch. Has the points lead by 84 points over Connor Leffler coming into this race. Number 44 car is on the racetrack. That's Ronnie Howard out of Nesbitt, Mississippi, third-generation racer. His boy also racing with us here tonight. Look out. Ran out of fluids there for a second. Talked about Hayden Martin, the number 67. Who else we have out here rolling around? On the backstretch. Yes, I forgot about him on the backstretch. That is the, what number is that? Is that the 10K? I believe that's the 10K. So 10K car coming out of there. Dwayne White out of Byhalia, Mississippi, the Active Fire Brady's Pool Room. That is a beautiful car, and that's hand-painted. Hand-painted number 10K car. And one of the top wings, if you're looking for one, they have one squirreled away in the storage building down below us off of that car. So that's all hand-painted. Beautiful race car. As we cut them loose, hot lap session number 2, the Deuce, out on the racetrack. And again, 362 cars checked in for action tonight in the Outlaw Thunder. And the flip-flop 50. Been running this race for a number of years, probably 12 years now, maybe? I don't know, it's been a while. We tried this race last weekend. As a matter of fact, we all traveled down here to Memphis, Tennessee, and then got rained out at the last minute, and everybody turned around and went back home again. And they said, well, let's reschedule to this weekend. So we were slated to be at Henry County Motorsports Park, which I love that facility down amongst the sugar cane, but opted to come back here this weekend, try this flip-flop 50 deal again. So we'll shut them down, send them out into the pit area. We'll get a nudge back into the pits. The four-wheelers or the quads or bicycles or whatever they're pushing them with should be waiting for them out in the pit area. Following the USCS Sprint Car Hot Lap session, we'll go into the modified Hot Laps and then the 305s to round out the evening. Kirkwood National Golf Club and Cottages, number 28 of the Ripley Rooster out of Ripley, Mississippi. That's Jeff Willingham making his way down in towards turn number 1. The number 27, back behind Kurt Terrell. Old Ricochet out of Rosemark, Tennessee. Idles along as well. The number 12 car is out here with us out of Hebron, Indiana. That's Corbin Gurley behind the wheel of the number 12. Connor Leffler, there's your second position. That's the number 22. He's currently second in the national point standings with USCS Outlaw Thunder Sprint Cars. Collision Consultants of Florida, Moss Racing Engines, Air Mechanical, and All-Star, all sponsors of 22 out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is where he calls home. Picked up Rookie of the Year honors, actually locked up Rookie of the Year honors earlier on this season, and now is trying to take a shot at the championship in his rookie year. How awesome would that be? Former king of the concrete. 94 car out here on the racetrack down towards turn number 1. That's Jeff Swindell out of Bartlett, Tennessee. Maybe you heard of him, if I'm not mistaken. 10M of Morgan Turpin idling her way out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway out of Cordova, Tennessee. Fat Larry's Barbecue, Chatham Speedway, Griffith Truck and Equipment, all sponsors 10M car. Marking what is, I believe, her 10th year behind the wheel of a sprint car, if I'm not mistaken. Got a couple of championships with the USCS Outlaw Thunder. Back in 2015 and 16, was ranked the number 1 female driver in sprints about that same time period, but is also a school teacher, so does not have a lot of time to race full-time. The 92 car making her way down the front stretch. That's Cody Hayes out of Wynne, Arkansas. So 7B car. Eric Gunderson out of Canton, Georgia. Top handyman, Gentier Technologies. Q-Cabs for less is in the 7E car. It took me a little while to find him. I was looking for a 7B, which sounds a lot like E, especially when you got an earplug in. So we'll throttle him up, cut him loose on this hot lap session. 92 car looking plenty fast. As Cody Hayes gets a little tight down the corner, has to get out of the throttle. Gunderson back behind. Connor Leffler, the 22, is going to be right there. You know that as well. Leffler had a good run this season. If you go back and look at the statistics, has a number of top 10s, been on a podium a few times, has not picked up a win with the series so far, but he's been right there. So close, yet so far away. Still able to hang on to that number 2 spot, though. Ooh, I missed the 26 car. Just realized that as he flashed out of the corner. So Marshall Skinner, I believe, or it could be Derek Hagar. We got two 26s in here. Bring out another group of 360s. Boy, there's a lot of them going out there. There's the Ohio Hammer. That's Luke Hall out of Ludlow Falls, Ohio, sitting down on the inside of the racetrack. Sour Mugs Tavern is in the house tonight. Sour Mugs Tavern is located up close to, I think it's Dayton, Ohio, and sponsors a lot of sprint car racing action. But he is here tonight. I got to meet him live and in person, so shout out to Sour Mugs Tavern. And if you're up in that neck of the woods, you might want to slide by and visit because they're race fans. But that's the number one, the Ohio Hammer, Sour Mugs Tavern, T&W Collision, Simon Holt Racing. He hitched a ride to get down here to race with you fine folks. Had been here once before, and you know Luke Hall because he led a ton of laps down here and then smoked the tire on the infield and kind of came to a screeching halt. So he's close to winning one. Tricky Ricky Peterson out of Rawson, Ohio, is in the number 2 car, idling down into turn number 1 and 2, and this may be his first visit down here. Sour Mugs Tavern also sponsored for him. 5 Angle Construction, S&S Landscaping, Ford's Automotive. Tricky Ricky's got, I want to say 6 wins on the season. But what's cool about that is a couple of them came in a 410 wing sprint car, some of them's in a non-wing sprint car, and some of them are in a 360. So it's kind of across the gambit. Number 95 car making her way down the front straightaway. That's Asa Swindell out of Bartlett, Tennessee. The number 29 just behind, getting a little nudge, is Kyle Amerson out of Montgomery, Alabama. The Moss Racing Engines, TSI, Matt Covington Motorsports, number 29. We got the 91A just passing the flag stand down into the corner. That's Ernie Ainsworth out of Bartlett, Tennessee. The number 6 car back behind. Boy, that's a good-looking race car. That's Dustin Gates out of Houghton, Louisiana. American Elevator, Superior Graphics, DTX Truck Repair, all sponsors of the number 6. And the 10H. I did not talk about the 10H car. It's underneath the Parts Plus flag stand. That's Dustin Homan out of Farmington, Missouri. Marking his 3rd year behind the wheel of a sprint car. Former mod racer, street stock racer, was actually an Ice Bowl street stock champ up at Talladega Short Track, and the Talladega Short Track Ice Bowl will be coming up right after the new year. If you're looking for a nice little vacay, they'd love to see you up there, and that's such a good time. 4 days of racing action just across from Talladega Super Speedway. And the world's best Waffle House is up there, too, in Lincoln, Alabama, right down the street. So make sure you swing by that. Holy smokes, I forgot about T-Mac. There's the 24 car, Terry McCarl out of Altoona, Iowa, Country Builders Construction, Mondac Portable, Snowplow.com. In the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, was inducted back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, but has wins at 61 different racetracks across probably 18 states in Australia and all kinds of stuff. He's got to be close to 300 career feature event wins, if I'm not mistaken, for T-Mac Terry McCarl, but good to have him out here. So in other news, the Jeep's stuck. I blame it. He was out idling around in the pit area with that all day today. I'll bet you he ran out of gas. Small as that thing is, looks like it runs on electric. You need to put a battery in it. Whoops. See, and that right there is the prime reason that Ford's building a Bronco again. You can go out and order yourself a brand new Ford Bronco. If you haven't seen them, you need to check them out. They are sexy. Will Homan down, kind of rocking it around in the infield. That's not a good place to be, especially with a high horsepower sprint car. So he wheeled it back out onto the racing surface, is able to continue on, so we'll call that okay. It's a bit of an adventure. Agricultural racing, I think is what Jerry Van Sickle calls it. That's usually when there's grass involved, and there ain't no grass on the infield of this racetrack. Got her all bladed up, looking nice down there. If you had to pick the fastest car out of this hot lap session, I'm not sure who you'd pick. They all look pretty quick, working about 2 car widths up off the bottom. Slinging and singing down into the corners. We should see a checkered flag coming out here before too awful long on this hot lap session. And I peeked down to the staging area, and I think we're going modified hot laps coming up next. Which, I apologize, I do not have any names for the modifieds. All we'll have is car numbers. Right now, once they get up here, we'll have it. They're getting everything entered into My Race Pass. Speaking of which, you can find all the lineups on myracepass.com or by downloading the My Race Pass app onto your device. While you're doing that, download the Flow Racing or Flow Sports app as well. You can watch all kinds of cool stuff. You can go back and watch neat things that happen here by following Flow Racing on Twitter. They'll do actually almost like an instant replay for you fans in the stands on Twitter, courtesy of Flow Racing. So follow along with Flow Racing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're looking for a 50-50 ticket, raise your hand. She will come to you. So you got the big old roll of tickets. We'd love to see that thing disappear before the night is over. She has her posse with her. I don't know what they're there for. Must be security. So modified hot lap